What movie will you always recommend to people? Goodfellas. Every fucking scene is flawless. It's the master at his best. The Thing. Young Frankenstein. Galaxy Quest. Coming to America. The Truman Show. Stand By Me. Groundhog Day. Just an amazing movie on how people can change for the better. Heathers. You start off thinking it's a shitty teenage rom-com about typical high school problems, and then 30 minutes in you realize you were terribly wrong and people are now getting killed. Terminator 2. Because it's Terminator 2. The Mummy. Brendan Fraser. It's such a fun movie. Howl's Moving Castle. I always recommend almost every Miyazaki Studio Ghibli movies, but this one is my favorite. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's a bit lesser known, so a lot of people haven't seen it. And it's so good. Second-Hand Lions. The Life of Brian. Edit. Everyone who liked this has biggest dickus energy. The Iron Giant. The Matrix. Hands down my favorite movie, something I always tell people to watch. The Count of Monte Cristo. Airplane. Good Will Hunting. The Silence of the Lambs. Wall-E. Clueless. My Cousin Vinny. A stone-cold classic, and Joe Pesci and Marissa Tomei's chemistry is brilliant. Edit. Well, I guess a lot of people also like this film. Oh Brother. Where Art Thou? Wayne's World. It's just good dumb fun, which in 2020 we need more than ever. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the perfect action movie for me. The intro to Indiana Jones in the jungle is perfect. Even with little dialogue. The pacing is great. The characters are solid. The humor is natural. The environments are diverse. And the music is unforgettable. Just an awesome, fun time. Princess Mononoke. Schindler's List. Office Space. I enjoyed the silly humor and over-the-top soundtrack as a kid. Now I work in a sea of cubicles for a faceless corporation and can relate on every level. Aside from the operating system you briefly see on computer screens. It's incredible how relevant everything about that type of job still is more than 20 years later. Emperor's New Groove. Easily the best movie Disney has ever produced. Not to mention the spectacular jokes. Every character is amazing, and I will recommend this movie until the day I die. Edit. Turns out the movie is from Disney and not Pixar. Sorry about that. Edit 2. Thank you so much, kind strangers that gave me awards. I love you all. Jurassic Park. It might seem cheesy by today's standards, but those special effects were mind-blowing in 1993. Spirited Away. The Princess Bride. 1. Why do you wear a mask? Were you burned by acid? Or something like that? 2. Oh no. It's just they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future. Young Frankenstein and/or Blazing Saddles. The fact that Mel Brooks got these both released in the same year always amazes me. So unabashedly. Sophomarically fun and didn't give a rip about who got offended. The Fifth Element. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. A Knight's Tale. It's not the most popular movie, but it's just a fun movie that is an absolute pleasure to watch. Clue. It's a premise that hasn't worked since. With a stellar comedic cast and great writing. The fact they made 3 or more endings for the same movie and all of them could make sense is a testament to the writing. Plus it's infinitely quotable. Edit. I've seen Knives Out and think it's also a great movie. The acting and writing was very good. Murder by Death is one I keep meaning to see but never seem to get around to. In regards to the part about the premise, I meant that Clue is the only movie based on a board game that worked. Edit 2. To all the people saying Jumanji. That was a book first. Then a movie. Then a board game. Same for Zathura. What We Do in the Shadows. One of the best comedies in the last decade, if not 2 decades. The TV series is just as good as the movie Emo. 12 Angry Men. The film is over 60 years old and it still holds up so well. Your Name. Beautiful animation. Great story. And an amazing soundtrack. It'll be my favorite movie for a long time. Snatch. Edit. Thanks for the gold, anonymous stranger. Edit. And silver and shooting star looking thing too. The Prestige. In Bruges. Not everyone seems to appreciate my humor, but this movie is great for setting a bar. It's hilarious and anyone who doesn't appreciate it is gonna get some shit like up as my next recommendation. Dead Poets Society. Amelie. Shawshank Redemption. Kung Fu Panda. People always go into it with bafflingly low expectations. But it's a great film. I worry that now I've primed you all with the above information. It won't live up to the hype. About Time. Marketed as a rom-com. But really a movie that's about a different type of relationship. Being vague to avoid spoilers, but it's very, very good. How to Train Your Dragon. The first one. Because I'm not a movie connoisseur. School of Rock. Jack Black's finest. Heartwarming and completely family-friendly. A movie truly for all. A Knight's Tale. The movie made me fall in love with Heath Ledger. Back to the Future. My Neighbor Totoro. I have never shown anyone that movie and had anyone dislike it. Ratatouille. American History X. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Big Fish. Pan's Labyrinth. There are a lot of movies that I love, but I'm aware that many of them are my preference, and thus, probably not objectively as good as I think they are. Pan's Labyrinth is a masterpiece. The story and characters are compelling. The cinematography is a delight. And it doesn't matter how many times I watch it. I've never enjoyed it less than the time before. For the curious, my favorite movies are Stranger Than Fiction, Jojo Rabbit, Labyrinth, The Skin I Live In, and Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's is the one of that top 5 that I recommend without reservation to literally everyone. Each of the other 4 generally come with caveats. Or the understanding that it may not be as good as I think it is. Pan's though. That movie is just a treat. Edit. My first ever Reddit award. Thanks. I hope some people who haven't seen this film are encouraged to do so. The Goonies. My mom and her boyfriend watched it and I decided to join. Absolute masterpiece. Oldie but goodie. Edge of Tomorrow.